So, having stretched our imaginations beyond the realms of our small planet, we will now return and start looking to the future. So, consider that you have a one-way ticket to the 22nd century and you're planning to move to the future with no return. You must choose one present-day language that will be installed into your head, overwriting all the others. Which one would you choose? The reason we asked our guests this question is to see how various linguists foresee the future of not just the whole world, but also their own.
What could be the lingua franca of planet Earth in year 2121?
Where would they teleport themselves into if they could never come back?
Well, I think if it was a matter of survival, I would be choosing Mandarin. If I was just going into the 21st from where I am now, I would probably choose Mandarin. Yeah, if I was being pragmatic.
That's a tough one. I guess based on what I just said, I should say Chinese again, because it will probably ascend through the 21st and then, still have some cachet in the 22nd century.
Look, it is a very simplistic question about domination. So obviously, if I assume China would be economically dominating the world, I would choose Chinese, or rather the Chinese writing system. And if I assume that nothing changes in the cleavage between Eurasia and the rest of the world, I would choose basically English, or Spanish, depending where I would be sent in this 22nd century. If to Latin America, probably Spanish or Portuguese.
Let's assume you are sent to a place of your choice. You could be sent to any place of your choice in the 22nd century.
Well, I would like to be sent to the Canaries. So Spanish, probably.
Out of the 5 guests, 3 answered Mandarin Chinese for arguably similar reasons, mainly to do with the weight of China's influence in the development of the modern world. However, the other 2 based their answers on this hypothetical future more on their personal experience. One thought more practically about his answer.
Oh my God. Can I only choose one?
Yes, just one.
Oh, man, that's a tough one. I want to say British English again, but I don't know where we're going. If China, for instance, will be like a dominant player, I'm going to make it easy for myself. I stick with my guns. I choose English again.
On the other hand, Guillaume went with what felt most right and comfortable for him, and him alone.
At the risk of being extremely controversial, I would probably argue that German would be a good idea. It's purely based on intuition, and Russian would be far behind. It would be probably German or Russian. And ironically, 2 languages I don't speak at all. Well, I used to speak German when I was 14, but that's gone. And Russian, I don't know a word of it. What I'd like to say about this is that I think you would want to learn a language which is associated with the kind of like the most sophisticated, greatest, most elaborate thinking in history. Because if there is a link between language and thought, and that's representative in terms of history, we have probably the greatest philosophers of all times were German. Others were Greek. And the ancient Greek is an interesting one, but it's not very likely that in 2 centuries you're going to hear fluent ancient Greek spoken, for the simple reason that it's gone and it's unlikely to return, whereas German and Russian are probably going to be around still, and so you have people to speak to, which is good, but they are very strong languages in terms of expressing with precision a methodic and articulated reasoning, or talking about abstract knowledge, as has been shown in philosophy and in literature. Some of the greatest writers of all time are Russian. Some of the greatest thinkers of all time are German. And if there is a link between the language and thinking, that would point me to that direction.